New bearings have arrived, so we're going to install them. They are a correct match to the old ones. I'm going to start with this side here first. I'm going to slide it on, and then it's going to get to a point where it starts to feel resistance. You can see on the shaft there, it gets a little bit thicker, and that's where the bearing is going to sit. So I'm going to slide this on until it stops. And when you put this on, it's very important that you press it on with that inner ring, the part that's stationary. If you have a deep socket, you can put the socket on there and push it in. I happen to have this wrench that's the right size, so I'm going to put that like that, which will apply the pressure to that inner circle there that's not going to move. And then I'm going to put the old bearings on here, and we're just going to gently hammer it down. And when it goes beyond that, I can't hit it anymore, I'll put a socket on here. And this is going to ruin these other bearings, but they're shot anyways. It's almost there. Okay. That last bang, you heard it sound a little bit different. So we hit the back, and that's on solid now. Okay, so that's the front. Now the rear bearing. Actually, this is not really front and rear, it's that kind of a motor. So I'm going to take a little bit more convincing, I think. Okay, bearings are on. Both spinning freely. Now we're ready to reassemble the motor and the rest of the fan. Now begins the task of feeding the wires back through the hole in the shaft down into the switch housing. And this is going to take a lot of time and patience. This will probably be the worst part of the project, if I had to take a guess. Now, I don't want to flex where it goes into where it connects to the windings itself, you know, like right there and there. I don't want to flex that a lot. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to hold it, you know, I'll hold the wire down like that where the connection is, and then I'll push it through. Now these wires, we got 1, 2, 3, we got 6 here, and 3 with the leads. So these 6 may go in okay, and then we may end up with a problem as it gets tighter with the remaining 3 going in there. And that in there is kind of sharp in there, so I'm going to be careful not to let the wires scrape against there really hard, so that we don't have an issue with insulation coming off or anything like that, creating a short condition. Really not liking the way this is sitting there. Maybe I'm going to do the other ones first. Okay, so all the wires are back through. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't super easy, but it certainly was not impossible or overly frustrating. So now we need to reassemble. Thus far everything's been going really well, so I kind of wonder like what I'm missing. Usually things just don't go that well. So maybe this is just going to be a good project and everything will go nicely. So I'll get all this reassembled and then we're going to look at the capacitor situation. Knew everything was going too well. I forgot this part, which partially I think we could just go without it. I'm not sure that's a good idea. Because what this does, this kind of should be in there, and it would secure the motor housing like that. I guess I should take it off and do it correctly. I just hope that doesn't ruin the bearing trying to take it off, because see, I know what happens is it ruins the bearing trying to get it off. Let's go without it and see what happens. Let's just see how it goes together. Everything's wired back up, ready to give it a test. The person I got it from said something about it not running properly on all the speeds, so there's a possibility that the capacitor is spoiled. I did get a new one so that we can replace it if need be, but I want to give it a test first because I'm sure the capacitor in here is a lot more reliable than the one that I bought. So let's see if this is going to work. Okay, there it goes. Now I'm going to do a test. I'm going to kind of feel, okay, that's got a lot of force to it. That's got less. And that's got less. That feels like it's operating normally. So we're going to stay with this capacitor, switch it into reverse. Just lost the breaker. The reverse is definitely not working right, which is okay because I never use fans in reverse anyways, and that may have been a pre-existing issue. So let's throw this on the kilowatt meter here so that we can see what the power draw is. I'm going to have to plug this in a little bit differently here. For the longest time I kept a short power cord over here, extension cord, and I think I cleaned up and I put it somewhere else. And now I need it. Okay, I found it. I can't plug in the kilowatt meter without this because it just doesn't fit quite right into the outlet. Let's get that phone out of the way here. This might have been what he was talking about. I'm not sure. So let's see here. I'm going to put it back to forwards. Let's plug this in here. Let's see what the power draw is on normal. On forwards. Why are we getting 0.37 amps? Okay, that's highly concerning. There should be no amperage in there at this point. Zero. Okay, so why is it not... I wonder if that reversing switch is having a problem. It's entirely possible that this capacitor is shot too. I'm not convinced that it's wired wrong because it ran properly once. Let's start by replacing that capacitor. Okay, so we're going to cycle through here to discharge the capacitor. And now let's take this off. It's discharged. We got new capacitors here. These are a little bit bigger, which is irrelevant, and they're not going to fit quite right because this one is screwed in on the side, and this is it's just not going to work. It'll fit inside there fine, but it's not going to attach. Oh well. So this was a 4, I think. Yep, that's a 4 microfarads. And this is also 4 microfarads. This is 450 volts. This is 270. Doesn't matter. It can be higher, just can't be lower. This connection is really kind of getting flaky here. Okay, new capacitor is in. Let's try again. This could go well or horribly. Let's find out. It's still doing that. Jeez, why did it run correctly that one time then? It's got to be the reversing switch. That's the canopy sitting on there. It's not making. It's not coming from the motor. Well, it could be one of two things. The reversing switch could be shot, or the reverse winding could be shot. Quite frankly, I don't care. I would never use this on reverse anyways. So we're just going to reassemble it as it is. Someday down the road I should probably take it apart and fix the bearing so that that's correct and, you know, whatever. Capacitor. I'm going to keep this capacitor because I think it's fun. But since I've already put that new one in there, we'll just go with it. Okay, so now I'm going to finish assembling. see if it works. Well, it needs to be balanced. I noticed there was balancing weights on top of one of the blades, and so that means it was balanced at some point, and the ordering of the blades, of course, was lost when it was taken down. And without knowing the ordering of the blades, I'm gonna have to take those weights off and redo it, or I could just play with the configuration of the blades and try it again. It's moving quite a bit of air. You can see it's drawing that string in. Pretty slow, but there's a decent amount of pitch to the blades. Let's drop this down to medium and low. It's very noisy. It's a single capacitor motor. Usually the triple capacitor ones are quieter, they don't have that hum. It's a nice slow low though. Really nice. Could also be louder because of the way it's mounted. I'm sure some of that noise is resonating off the beams and the metal on metal bracket. Well, it works. The bearings are quiet. Reverse doesn't work, but I don't think it worked prior to the repair anyways. So we'll consider this one a success.